We are at my home at the end of Judd Creek Hollow. I've lived here for 23 years and not much of it has changed except the way the forest is taking care of itself and I take care of it. And then July 31st happened. The fire happened and it was very traumatic, really hard on all of us in here. A friend called me who lives down very near where the fire started, saying, "Kathy, we have a fire." I drove down to the intersection and the Sheriff's Department told me, "Get back and evacuate. We're going to start evacuating right away." And we got about half a mile down the road and it was coming down the slope, and honestly I could understand then. He was as frightened as anyone was. He thought we were going to get trapped in here because the fire was rolling down the mountain just like water. It was just coming so fast. My property is lucky. There were so many places that were so hot it was scorched earth, but not so much here because mine were saved.
You don't get to do that so much anymore.
Yeah, don't get to be out. The NRCS people were very good about contacting those of us involved, and my house is sitting at the end of a gulch, and they felt it was very much at risk, very vulnerable to the possibility of a mudslide. So that's when I began the work with the NRCS.
We first got involved with this as the fire was unfolding, and because of the burn severity, we were concerned about the changes to hydrology and how increased runoff might threaten our home. So working with the Forest Service and other partners on fire assessment here, we came up with a strategy to protect our home from those increased runoffs and any debris flows that might come down in a heavy rain event post-fire.
They basically designed for me and my property what they thought was the best way to handle a runoff in a crisis situation if that came. And so in the late fall, I finally had a crew come out and had excavators come out and did the project as the NRCS people had designed it, that will handle a monumental flood if it happens.
The height of this wall, the depth of the channel, and even the size of the rocks, those were all calculations in how much runoff we might see coming down this drainage. So it's integrated into the landscape of the home here, but there's been a lot of engineering involved in just how this goes through the property.
I hadn't really thought of the fact that my house was right at the base of this gully, and monetarily I couldn't have done it, and I wouldn't have had the slightest idea where to begin. So that was a tremendous help.
So Kathy was one of the first people that we visited, and after an initial on-site, we got our engineering staff involved and came up with this proposal, which Kathy chose to pursue. So using resources from our Emergency Watershed Protection Program, EWP, we were able to secure funding to assist in the implementation of this diversion and other protection measures for other neighbors here that were impacted by the fire.
They were really helpful. They are in constant contact with me. They are totally available if I have questions and explain things to me 2 or 3 times if it needs to be done that much until I get it. Right, and that did happen a few times. I kept saying, why this, why that? And Matt was very patient with me, very concerned for me. So they were great.
So we collect the seed and grow the plants in the park.